What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball Fighters for y'all. And I wanted to actually address something that's been coming up a decent amount in the past week or two about what happens now for Dragon Ball Fighters. So we're at the end of season pass number 3 with Gogeta's release, and there were tweets going around. At this point, it's definitely been almost 2 weeks, but there were definitely tweets going around from other players saying things like they don't want to play the game anymore, or they're not really motivated to play the game, and what their future plans are. I, of course, myself, and also competitive player. You know, I've played on Dragon Ball War Tour. I've got all over the country playing. I really enjoy competing in fighting games in general. So I thought I'd discuss my thoughts on this a little bit and also share a little bit of like what my plans are, I guess, for the future. So to start, really, I think this is something a little bit closer to me because I'm not. It might be a surprise to some of you guys, but I'm not just a Dragon Ball FighterZ player. I am a fighting game player in general. Like, I've played many different fighting games at this point. Starting, I mean, you can count Smash if you want. So if you count Melee, then you have like Melee, and then Melty Blood, various versions, Blaze Blue, various versions, Persona 4 Arena, various versions. Not really various versions in that game. It's only really two versions of that game, and then all the versions of Exerd and Guilty Gear, Exerd, and then Dragon Ball, where we are today. So I know a thing or two about Gabe's dying, for lack of a better word, and if you're just looking for that point for this video, I don't think Dragon Ball FighterZ is going anywhere. At this point, too, we also had the Dragon Ball Battle Hour, where they discussed some plans, and they kind of mentioned, they gave some hints that they're still going to support the game for a little while longer, which is pretty nice. And by default, just by having dev support means that your game is fine. The Dragon Ball IP is also incredibly strong. This thing was probably the most shocking thing for me coming into Dragon Ball FighterZ. Just how amazing you guys are as a community. And I mean, I should say you guys, really. It should be we, because I'm in this community now for real as well. And it's been a really fun community to be a part of, and that's why I'm pretty sure that this game is just going to be fine. Even if there are people who decide to move on, who don't want to play for whatever reason, there's still going to be people playing the game. And I think the most important thing about a game is that as long as people play your game, the game is not dead. In my case, I mean, I started with Super Smash Bros. Melee, and that game literally died. Like, people did not play SSBM anymore for a significant amount of time, and now it's one of the largest games. Like, it's a really, really big game that's taken very seriously by a lot of people. That's a game that has rollback, and we don't, by the way. Dragon Ball FighterZ does not have rollback. Melee somehow has rollback in 2021. You love to see it. There are also games like Melty Blood. So Melty Blood also died, actually, in the US scene for a couple of years, and it came back in a pretty big way, and I'm actually pretty happy to see that. I don't know how Melty Blood players feel about me, really, but like, I'm glad to see that the game is alive and well. So the big thing really is just play the game. If you really, truly like Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I know I rag on this game a lot for its flaws and the things I don't like personally, but also there are things that I like, and I think I've grown playing this game. And I do plan to continue on playing this game. I don't necessarily need dev support for me to keep playing like some other people. I don't really need them to like have another world tour or something to like motivate me. That would motivate me a lot, by the way, if they had another tour. That was like maybe the saddest thing about last year. Last year, obviously, you know, tough year for everybody on Earth, but since there was no tour to compete in, I took a year to just kind of reflect on like my play and the game Dragon Ball FighterZ and like what I could do as a player, because I still found that I still had pretty high motivation to compete, and I mean, I needed this game to show me that too. I think sometimes you get lost in the day-to-day, you don't know, and like you could end up one day being like, bro, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But I did get to like kind of recenter myself and like focus myself on like future goals competing, which is nice. I do plan on playing Guilty Gear Strive. I had a really, really good time playing Guilty Gear Strive. I mean, especially if you watch all the videos I put out, I've done nothing but sing the praises of the open beta and how much better it was in the closed. The closed beta was really bad. There's no other way of putting it. The closed beta was really bad. I was gonna be really sad if that was the game they're gonna put out, but I was pretty happy with the open beta. And as a competitive fighting game player, so there are basically like two groups of players. And if you remember at the beginning of this video, or earlier at least, I made sure to mention that I don't consider myself to be a Dragon Ball FighterZ player. I consider myself to be a fighting game player. So in the fighting game community in general, those are like the two big macros, right? And I would not mean like Dragon Ball FighterZ players and other fighting game players. It is more of a, there's some people who just enjoy one game or like one series of games. So you have like your BlazBlue players only, or your GG players only, or your Bounty Blood players only, or your Street Fighter players only, etc. You get where I'm going with this, right? And there's some people who just play multiple games. And some of the more well-known fighting game players out there are people who are able to either play multiple games or play games outside of their genre. That's why, you know, people like Sonic Fox. That's a reason why, you know, Goichi too, because Goichi has gone out of his lane a little bit, and he's played like Street Fighter. He's gone like top 8 Evo, Street Fighter 5 before, things like that. I'm a person who just really enjoys the genre, so like I listed at the beginning, I did play a lot of different fighting games before this, and I hope I can keep on playing different fighting games after this. But don't let people tell you that a game is dead. You decide when the game is dead for you, and you decide that by not playing it. So if you enjoy Dragon Ball FighterZ, if you enjoy like all the crazy stuff, all the characters, all the good and the bad of the game, then you should just keep playing. As far as content, you should definitely expect me to keep on doing content for this game, because again, I still do like the game and I want to keep playing it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that basically. So don't worry about whether or not Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to quote-unquote die or not. I don't really think it is in the short term. I don't really think it is in the long term either, as long as people are playing it. The only two ways that this game dies for real is that everybody stops playing it, or they come out with a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 that everyone moves on to, so the original Dragon Ball FighterZ doesn't get played. That's essentially the only way I see that happening. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.